Uh-oh. The citizens are restless.
Your kind killed the most holy.
Lies. Your kind let her die.
Shut your mouth, Mage!
Enough!
Knight Commander!
That is
There
not
we
my
go.
title. We are not Templars any longer.
Ella's like,
we are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you.
Oh, Cullen, well done. Well done, buddy. This is where she like goes, well done, buddy. Pats him on the back. Very bro-y. I see Elle is starting off her relationship with Cullen trying to be a total bro to him. But it doesn't like in a way that it fails, but it fails in an adorable way, if that makes sense. Just like, hey! Sort of like, if you've watched Mulan, and that scene where she tries to be a total bro, tries to be a total dude with the other soldiers, and she just pulls out every single, like, male stereotype as possible. I see that's what Elle ends up doing with Cullen, and maybe Cullen might be slightly weirded out by it at first, but deep down inside, at least subconsciously, he might find it very cute and adorable. That's how I'm seeing the relationship
Mages and Templars were
blossoming
already
from
at
the
war.
beginning.
Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the
I
conclave?
love that line.
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
So far, you're the only one who's insisted we can't work together.
We might, if your Inquisition would recognize the Chancellor's authority.
There is no authority until another Divine is chosen.
In due time, Andraste will be our guide, not some dazed wanderer on a mountain.
But you've got the Herald right here.
The Mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new Divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
That's
You think
right.
nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
Thank you, Cullen. Thank you.
How widespread is the violence between Mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between Mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The
Toothless.
Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
He doesn't look like a, dragon that shoots out lightning that you need to train, to me. Good luck keeping order. I hope the trip is worth it.
I'll make sure they see reason in Val Royeaux.
I pray you're right.
Elle is a bit of an optimist. I think she tries to be as optimistic as possible.
I will keep the peace while you and the others appeal to the Chantry in Val Royeaux.
Oh, you
Better
can't
ready
come with
yourself
us?
for the blame you will be rightly assigned.
Oh, poor thing.
When there was no sky maker, you were the sky.
Oh, there's Mother
I don't
Giselle.
know if Apothecary Adon can get you that many healing drafts, Revered Mother.
If he cannot, then he may simply tell me no.
Yes, Revered Mother.
And if he does wish to tell me no, I would appreciate him doing so in person.
Yes, Revered Mother.
Hello, revered mother.
Greetings, Herald of Andraste. How fares your quest to seal the breach?
I'm trying.
I'm doing everything within my power.
A task such as closing the breach is a heavy burden. I hope you do not carry it alone. We remember Andraste, But Andraste did not carry the Chant of Light alone. She had generals, advisors, and though it is considered heresy to say it, she had the aid of the elf Chartan. Do everything within your power, but remember those who would help you.
I obey the will of Andraste.
I will try to follow in Andraste's footsteps as best I can.
If you like. But Andraste forged her own path, guided as she was by her visions. Look to Andraste for guidance, but ultimately, the Maker has made this your task to fulfill. In any case,
Thank you, Mom.
I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
How are the people doing after what happened at the Conclave?
They are scared, of course. Many have lost homes or loved ones. I doubt many will sleep well until you have sealed the breach. I have offered what help I can. The rest is for the Inquisition. What more do you wish to know?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
They are terrified. Many of them came here because the war between the Mages and the Templars destroyed their homes. In their minds, the death of the Divine has destroyed any chance of peace. To that, add the breach. Farmers have fled their fields. If we do not restore order, half of Thedas may starve.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the Hinterlands are desperate. Without help, starvation or war will claim many lives. Villagers in Crestwood are besieged by their own dead. They have sent word begging for assistance. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Orlais and Ferelden.
What are you doing to help these people?
My sisters and I have been tending to the injured as best we are able. Some refugees come with food, while others arrive empty-handed. I have helped ensure that all have enough to eat. Beyond that, many simply wish the familiar comfort of the Chant of Light. It is little enough work to offer some comfort to those in pain.
Farewell, revered mother.
Make her go with you.
Was there anything else?
I greet you.
Is there anything I can do to help you or your people?
My healers would benefit from more supplies. We have run short of even common goods with so many wounded. If you could deliver this list and the items on it to Quartermaster Thren, she could get us what we need. It may not seem like much, but it would enable my healers to save many lives.
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages. As Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the Chant of Light by force.
Right.
It must be difficult to follow the Chant of Light knowing how it's spread.
Indeed. I have always believed that the Maker wished us to spread the Chant of Light. By example, not violence. In any case, once the Chant of Light had spread far and wide, there was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the Seekers of Truth, and eventually the Templars.
We're more zealous than the Templars and the Seekers. I suppose that explains Cassandra.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away.
Yeah, Trespasser
Perhaps
DLC
the name
right
was
there.
divine, Justinia's message. That when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put its sword away.
Right, right.
Do you know who the Grand Clerics will choose as the next Divine?
It is a difficult decision. All the obvious candidates perished with Divine Justinia at the Conclave. The Grand Clerics are terrified of the Inquisition. They will not decide soon, and I fear they will not decide wisely. Whoever is chosen needs the Inquisition's support. No one else seems likely to seal the breach.
Growing up Dalish, I heard little about your chantry. Can you tell me about it?
she's like, here, take a pamphlet. I'm done talking. Here. This will tell you all about our Lord and Savior, the Maker, and Andraste. Here we go.
Too many think that the chant of light should only be sung by humans. The truth is that knowledge of the Maker and Andraste should be open to all who wish to learn of him. We believe the Maker created us, and that mankind's sinful nature caused him to turn away. With Andraste's blessing, the Maker will forgive mankind once the chant of light is sung from all corners of this world.
Why only human women?
Why does the chantry allow only human women to become priestesses?
The official doctrine is that elves and dwarves have turned further from the Maker than humanity. And as for men, the chant holds that they are more vulnerable to anger or passion. But in truth, it is simply political. Added after Andraste's death, like too many of our beliefs.
If you don't believe these restrictions are what Andraste wanted, why haven't you tried to change them?
Has the current state of the world not taught you the folly of fighting too many battles at once? I chose to use what power I had to help peasants forgotten by the nobles of Orlais.
That's fair.
I believed there would be time to address their inequality under the chantry once we had saved them from starving.
I do like Mother Giselle. So not everybody seems to like her particularly much. I think she's great. She's not perfect. Especially, you know, that moment that she has the Dorian. She's not perfect, she's human, but overall, she's super reasonable. Super, super reasonable.
What is your stance on magic?
Andraste put it simply. Magic must serve man, not rule over him. However, those words must be put into the proper historical context. Andraste led a rebellion against the Tevinter Imperium, whose magisters controlled most of the world at the time. Even then, she never called for all mages to be put to death. She believed in peaceful coexistence.
I don't recall the chantry being as tolerant of magic as you describe.
No. The chantry is an imperfect vessel, pulled in every direction by those who would steer its course. Yet the Templars rebelled precisely because divine Justinia was not restrictive enough. Perhaps the Inquisition will find a better way.
There were calls for an exalted march to put down the Mage rebellion. What was your opinion?
It was ignorant gossip. An exalted march only succeeds when it carries the will of the people. Even then, it cannot be undertaken lightly. People are too easily frightened. We cannot destroy everything they fear. An exalted march is justified only against a true threat to this whole world. It is an offense to the Maker to use it as a political bludgeon.
Right.
Or as a means of spreading the chant of light.
Exactly. Totally agree with you there, Mother Giselle.
A pity voices like yours were not louder when an exalted march crushed my people.
That is a hotly debated matter in some circles of the chantry. Your people had conquered Mont-Semerd and threatened Val Royeaux itself. They were not helpless victims. But even then, Orlais was the only nation to provide troops. It was hardly an exalted march of all the faithful. The Maker wishes his world to spread by example, not by war. We win no converts with blood.
Okay.
Farewell, revered mother.
Maker go with you.
The city still mourns.
Just a guest seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald.
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then.
So one thing I wanted to point out...
They wish to protect the people? From us?
We knew there would be some kind of reaction.
But I didn't expect the Templars to make an appearance.
The people may just be assuming what the Templars will do. I've heard of no concrete plans.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
So one thing I want to point out, since this is my third time playing through this game, I wanted to try to mix things up a bit as much as I can to help keep everything fresh and new. So I actually am planning for this playthrough to completely mix up the characters', I guess, typical fighting styles. For example, one of the major changes, and I know a lot of you are going to gasp and be, calling blasphemy, but I'm actually speccing Varric to be a dual wield rogue instead of using Bianca. I know, blasphemy, but I've had Varric with Bianca for so many playthroughs, not only twice in Inquisition, but also, all the times that I played through Dragon Age 2. I love Bianca. I love Bianca. And I think overall, having Bianca is probably a much more powerful thing. Bianca's, I think, more powerful for Varric than Two Daggers. But it's just for fun. This is just for fun. So, Varric is going to be dual wielding. Sarah's going to be dual wielding. I know that kind of breaks the continuity because there's a lot of, dialogue that talks about how well she is with the bow. Well, she can be awesome with Two Daggers too, in addition to the bow. And, it's, again, I don't, this isn't my canon playthrough anyway. Art is still my canon playthrough. And I just want to have fun. So Varric is, like I said, Varric and Sarah are dual wielding. Cole's gonna be on a bow. I don't know. I just think it's just gonna be really interesting playing Cole as a ranged weapon fighter, because you're just not used to seeing them that way. Cassandra is not gonna be sword and board. She's going to be a two-hander fighter. Solus, I respect him so that he's less about being a support mage and more about doing damage. So he's going to be focusing more on the electricity, I guess, wing of things, the electricity side of things. Blackwall, I think, is going to be two-handed. Iron Bull is going to be sword and shield. Iron Bull will be sword and shield. And then, am I missing anyone besides the mages? Because that leaves Vivienne and Dorian. Vivienne, I think, is going to go through the support. I think she's going to be more of a support mage, and Dorian is going to be going through the ice area. And then Elune, or Elle, she's going to be taking the fire side of things. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be super fun, just to mix things up.
Good people of Val Royeaux, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet,
The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
Wow. Wow, we have a real enemy.
And do you know everything the Maker commands? Look up in the sky. I alone survived the breach, and I can end it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
What's the meaning of this?
Her claim to authority is an insult, much like your own.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement, raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet, you should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
Wow. Alright. Templars, join as Cullen did. Then why are you here? You refuse the Herald? Help us close the breach. Yeah, she's gonna say this. Join as Cullen did.
Templars! One of your own commands the Inquisition's forces. Join us as he did.
You're a mage. Your ties are worthless. They are all made traitors just by being in your company.
But Lord Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
Yeah, that's dangerous, though.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing. And the Inquisition, less than nothing.
You've done a lot in the Hinterlands. I don't know what you're talking
Templars, Val Royeaux is unworthy of our protection. We march.
So instead you just go around punching old ladies?
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Do you think he can be reasoned with?
I hope so. If not him, there are surely others in the Order who don't feel as he does. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
This victory must please you greatly, Seeker Cassandra.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our hand? Do not delude yourself.
Forcing your hand?
Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone.
It had nothing to do with us. We didn't do anything.
Scattered to the wind, along with their convictions.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Just tell me one thing. Do you truly believe you are the Maker's chosen?
Elle definitely believes so.
I do believe it. Do you have a better explanation?
Several, but are they the truth? I am left to question all I have been taught. I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
You're obviously skeptical. What do you believe I am?
Our divine. Her holiness is dead. I have seen evidence for everything, except What would comfort me?
That doesn't answer my question.
For you to be true, a great many things must be false. And if you are false, a great many things must have failed. There is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
So what happens now? Will the Chantry continue to denounce me?
We have already done so. And what good has it done us? Now it falls on us to select a new divine, if we can. And leave the next step to her.
Or just let the
Provided
Inquisition take
such
care
a
of it.
selection is even possible.
I truly don't know. Any revered mother who could have followed Justinia died at the Conclave. What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
How are people responding to all of this?
Despair. Fear. We mourn Her Holiness. The people look to the sky and wonder how long before terror comes for us all. There must be a way through this. Is it you? The Templars? The Maker's will? We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
How many Templars turned on the Chantry exactly?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some remained loyal, but not enough to call them the Order. The White Spire here in the capital was the largest garrison, but now it stands empty. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has faith waned, I wonder?
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the Templars?
I can't begin to guess the Lord Seeker's mind. He could not have abandoned his intended role more completely.
There must be sense to what we can't see.
Must there? Rebellion seems popular in certain quarters, doesn't it, Seeker? Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do exactly?
Put aside his war against the Mages and find common purpose against something much more dire. Obviously, he has other plans. With the Knights vigilant slain at the Conclave, there is nothing more we can do.
Perhaps there is something we can do.
I'd like to believe that, Seeker. I truly would.
We've already been doing it,
we
though.
can expect renewed effort against the Mages from him, and yet more chaos.
We closed the breach on Haven. How much... Like, we've been doing things.
There's got to be a way to calm everything down and clean up this mess.
I hope against hope that may be the case.
If I might have a moment of your time.
Ah, Fiona.
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps you should look among your fellow mages.
I'm surprised the leader of the Mages wasn't at the Conclave.
Yes. You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap.
Smart.
I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
Does that mean the mages will help us?
We are willing to discuss it with the Inquisition at least. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lady Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven.
Nice.